Buenos días.
Buenos dias.
¿A dónde estamos?
We are in the capital of Costa Rica, San Jose.
Correctamundo. While Costa Rica is definitely a destination, not many people will tell you that San Jose is.
In fact, if you Google things to do in San Jose, it's mostly day trips outside of San Jose.
That said, there are some very cool things to do and check out here, so join us as we do just that.
San Jose is home to about 350,000 people, or about 7% of Costa Rica's population. Visitors in search of beaches, rainforests, and wildlife might skip San Jose altogether, and the most they'll see of it is from the airport. With so much tired and utilitarian architecture, most people wouldn't describe downtown San Jose as beautiful. But there are some beautiful things and cool places to check out. We spent 5 days in San Jose. It's about an hour from the beach, so we wouldn't consider living here, but we enjoyed our time exploring the city. Should you find yourself in downtown San Jose, here are our favorite highlights. We'll also map out a walking route to make it easy to see them all in one day. Most of our favorite things to do in San Jose are only a few blocks apart and within easy walking distance. We'll use this handy map, which is a placemat at a great breakfast spot, the Hotel Balmoral. Let's start at Parque Morazan, where you saw us in the intro to this video. Heading east, on the left is the 129-year-old Edificio Metallico, which houses a primary school. From there, it's a short walk to our first stop, the Museum of Contemporary Art and Design. This cool museum has free admission and is worth a visit. It houses a variety of unique and intriguing pieces. And with its modest size, an hour is plenty of time to see everything. This museum doesn't open until 10 a.m. So if you're getting an early start, go to our next stop and then double back afterwards.
The next stop is only 2 short blocks away and is home to 2 of Costa Rica's top museums. First up is the National Museum of Costa Rica. It's housed in the 100-year-old former headquarters of the Costa Rican Army, which was abolished after the 1948 Civil War. This museum opens at 8:30 a.m. and costs about $11. After entering, the first thing you'll see is this beautiful butterfly garden. From there, you can take stairs up the turrets and check out the views from the fortress walls. There's an interior courtyard with hallways that lead to the exhibits. Here you'll learn all about Costa Rica's history, from pre-Columbian times all the way to more modern times. You could certainly spend more time here, but we found about an hour and a half gave us a good taste of the museum. Just across the plaza is the Museum of Jade. This huge building houses the largest collection of American jade in the world, but it's much more than that. It's probably Costa Rica's most celebrated museum and extensively covers pre-Columbian times. There are several floors of beautiful exhibits, and it's well worth the $16 price of admission. With such a huge collection, it would take several hours to see everything, but do plan on spending at least an hour here.
As we leave the Jade Museum, we're looking west down Avenida Central. We'll walk 4 blocks to our next destination. Avenida Central is the central shopping hub of downtown San Jose, and much of it is a pedestrian only walkway. We arrive at our next destination, Plaza de la Cultura. It's home to 3 museums, but first we're going to visit what might be the country's most exquisite piece of architecture, Teatro Nacional de Costa Rica. Opened in 1897, its design is an homage to the great theaters of Europe. It's also a symbol of national pride. Unless you're going to a show, the only way to visit is to take a guided tour, which is available in English or Spanish. We recommend checking the website for the schedule and buying your tickets in advance. It's well worth the $7 price. The theater is filled with beautiful art, most notably Allegoria, an 1897 mural by Italian artist Aleardo Villa. From 1968 to 1992, it appeared on the back of the 5 Colonne bill. As mentioned earlier, the Cultural Plaza is also home to 3 museums. The first is the Museo del Oro Precolombino. This sleek museum is filled with eye-catching pre-Columbian artifacts. However, if you visited both the National and the Jade Museum, you've already seen a lot of pre-Columbian history. You wouldn't be blamed if you decided to skip this one. The complex has 2 other smaller museums that are worth checking out. One is a museum of visual arts. The other is Museo de Numismática, which is the history of Costa Rican currency.
From the Cultural Plaza, we're going to head about a block east to our next stop, the Metropolitan Cathedral, San Jose's biggest Catholic church. The church was built in 1871. It replaced the original 1802 church, which was destroyed in an earthquake. We found the neoclassical design to be far more serene and far less imposing than so many of the cathedrals we visited. Right across the street is Central Park, which quite honestly is really more of a plaza, but it's noted for this giant bandstand contraption. Where's that thing, I guess? From there, we'll head about 3 blocks to the northwest and arrive at Mercado Central. Like central markets in other Latin American countries, it's a huge maze of eateries, food markets, and small shops. From there, we'll head east 2 blocks, and we'll stop to admire the beautiful exterior of the 1917 Postal Building. Another block and a half east brings us to Nuestra Iglesia Señora del Carmen. It's had to be reconstructed after earthquakes, but its origins date back to the mid-1800s.
2.5 blocks east and you're back at Parque Morazan. And this completes our loop of our favorite things to do for a day in downtown San Jose. If you find yourself with even more time in San Jose, here are 2 bonus activities. From Parque Morazan, using Google Maps, it's a 17-minute walk to our first bonus destination. After you cross the Rio Torres, make a right at the pedestrian walkway, which is a much prettier walk than staying on the street. And here we are at the Spirogyra Butterfly Garden. If you didn't get your fill of butterflies at the National Museum, Here's another of Costa Rica's many butterfly gardens. The admission is $7. It's a beautiful outdoor area with many species of butterflies. After checking out the butterflies, there's a hiking trail on the 1.7-acre property, which is included with your admission. This is a short trail, but steep in some parts, and takes you all the way down to the Rio Torres.
Even though it's only about 12 miles, our second bonus destination is about a 45-minute drive west of downtown San Jose. Hacienda La Chimba is a coffee farm that additionally has a restaurant, hiking trails with photo ops, zip lining, and coffee tours. We are on the 3-kilometer walk.
Uphill.
So that's, I believe, about a mile and a half.
Yep, something like that.
And we spent $50 a person for this hike along with a coffee tour. Apparently we can see all the things, the famous sights on this hike. In fact, we are at the junction here where we go to our first one, which is the Buddha statue. And we are arriving at landmark number 2. We worked up quite an appetite doing all that hiking and taking all those pictures, so we had breakfast at the restaurant. We enjoyed the views of the property and the queso chimba, their specialty breakfast item. After breakfast, our guide Daniel took us on an interesting tour of the property, which included both the history of Costa Rican coffee and more. Hacienda La Chimba is also home to beautiful white peacocks. We also learned about carretas. These ox carts, now hand-painted with special designs, are an important part of Costa Rica's history and considered a national symbol. While it's kind of on the pricey side, we enjoyed our half day at Hacienda La Chimba. And we hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Join us in our next Costa Rica video as we check out Lake Arenal. It's home to a mighty volcano, beautiful dense rainforests, wildlife, and more.
If you enjoyed this adventure, please give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of our travel and wildlife videos.